Hi there, welcome to the syllabus walkthrough for English Composition 1, English 1001. Let me share our screen here and take you through the highlights of the course syllabus. Sadly, the course syllabus is kind of a lengthy document because we are required to have certain boilerplate language and certain information covered to satisfy the university's requirements for syllabi. So you can, I'm recording this walkthrough just to explain some of the highlights in case you have any questions. The video will be here at the top of the page, and then you will also be able to download a printable PDF of the syllabus. It's the same exact information contained on this web page. So you can download it, print it out if you're that kind of person, so that you have it at your fingertips instead of having to log in all the time to look up something in the syllabus. We have these handy navigation links that take you to the various parts of the syllabus. So that's helpful for navigation as well. Important things here are instructor information. Please make sure that you spell my last name correctly. My name is Valerie Malott, M-A-L-O-T-T, and my email is malottvj@ucmail.uc.edu. Again, 1 L, 2 T's. Spell it correctly and it will get to me. If you don't spell it correctly, it's either going to bounce back to you or be lost somewhere in cyberspace. So it's expected that you will use your official UC email in your communication between the university and your instructors. That does not mean that I will ignore your email if it comes from a Gmail or another place. I check email frequently during the week. My goal is to reply to you within 24 hours, Monday through Thursdays. It will take me a little bit longer if you send an email on a Friday, especially in the summertime. I am busy with my son's travel baseball, so I'm often not around on the weekends, but I usually do respond promptly. For quick questions, you can use the class discussion board. And if you have an emergency, you can reach me by text at 513-266-4308, but please reserve such communication for emergencies only. There are university policies and student resources, and you can access those at this Student Resources Summer 2022 module. It has Canvas tutorials, technical help. Then there's the UC Claremont policy. If you click on this, and this goes for all campuses, but because we're offering this course through UC Claremont, I want you to take a look at the academic integrity policy, as well as the student code of conduct and the student guide to academic integrity. We will be doing a unit on plagiarism. So it's expected that you will know all of this information, but that's important information for you to know. And then there are links to the library, tutoring and academic support, student accessibility, and all other student support services. So that's an important module for you to take a look at. I'm not going to tell you much about the course description, other than this is not a creative writing class. It is your introduction to academic writing. So what we'll be writing for this semester is focusing primarily on how to use sources, how to research, and how to construct arguments. By the end of the course, you'll be able to analyze rhetorical situations by examining audience, purpose, and context, compose multiple genres for a variety of audiences and purposes, using sources as a foundation for writing in most projects, and adopting appropriate composing processes and conventions. You will also use inquiry-based research practices to identify potential gaps, conflicts, or new ideas in an existing conversation about a topic. Locate, evaluate, and synthesize source material appropriate to research inquiry that reflects a range of perspectives. And lastly, articulate what you know about reading, research, and writing processes and how you can apply that knowledge in various contexts. We want you to be able to develop skills in this course that will then transfer into other classes as well as into your chosen careers. The format for this course, as you know, this is an online synchronous course that doesn't have any regular meetings, virtually or otherwise. However, that does not mean that it's, do whatever you feel like doing. It does not mean that there aren't deadlines for assignments. We need to have deadlines. So please consult the course schedule and manage your time around those set deadlines. And for more information, you can read the course Frequently Asked Questions. This will take you to a link to a pinned discussion board that answers some other things. On to materials. We have no required text for this course. If you feel like purchasing a book, you can purchase the second edition of Pursuing Happiness. We are using chapter 5 from that text. However, I will be providing the PDF copies and links to those articles that we'll be reading in the first couple of weeks, as well as other readings from a website called Writing Spaces. Writing Spaces is kind of a compendium of writing-related topics, essays written by writing instructors, geared for students. So they're very accessible, fairly easy to read and understand for students. And I've had great success with those readings, so I will continue to use those in my courses. There are, of course, additional resources. This link will take you to the course resources, and that includes things such as my YouTube playlist for this course, as well as other YouTube playlists and lots of links to help you with things like grammar, punctuation, spelling, that kind of thing. Don't need to go over required technology. We do want to talk a little bit about assessments and activities. Because this is a 7-week course, I decided to take a thematic approach to our formal writing assignments. So you're going to produce 3 papers of varying length, which will each build upon your previous work. So you will be 1, analyzing the rhetorical effectiveness of a given text, 2, synthesizing information from the writing of others, and 3, researching various texts to ultimately compose a final research argument that answers our core course question: does technology make us happy? That is the theme for our course. So I want you to start thinking about this question and what you think about it, what you feel about it. Does technology make us happy? Yes or no? Why? Right? And that will be the basis of all our writing assignments for the next 7 weeks. In addition to those 3 major writing assignments, you will also have 5 discussion board posts that you'll be asked to do, 5 journal posts that you'll be asked to do, and 3 quizzes. And you can see the rough course schedule here. I think it's pretty much set to these will be all the assignments that are required of you. So take a look at that. And again, please make sure that you schedule any vacations or any activities around these dates. It's important that you really be able to focus on this course. Grading criteria. English 1001 is kind of unique in that it doesn't have you don't get a D in this class. We have A's, B's, C's, or NPs primarily. NP is non-proficient or not passing. In order to pass the class, you have to get a C. And that means you'll then be able to progress to English 2089, which is intermediate composition. Any lower grade than a C means that you will need to retake the course before you can move on. Incompletes are special circumstances. You can read about that. I'm not going to outline that. And I will say that if you just disappear from class or you don't complete the work and you don't talk, communicate with me or anything like that, you will fail, which isn't a good thing. An NP is a little less hurtful to your GPA than an F. So I do encourage you to do as much of the work as you possibly can. That said, I am trying a new thing this semester called contract grading. The contract grading system means that you choose which grade you want to achieve and complete the necessary labor that's required. You're guaranteed a B in this course if you fulfill the following: meet all the due dates and writing criteria for the major assignments, complete all of the informal low-stake writing assignments, so that means the journal writing, discussion boards, and quizzes. Give thoughtful peer feedback in those discussion board workshops and work faithfully with your group on other collaborative tasks. You are going to be placed in groups of 4, which means that each of you will be reading 3 other people's papers throughout the whole semester. The group will not change. I find this is helpful for students to open up to one another and start to talk about writing and talk about their thoughts and that kind of thing. And I'll tell you more about peer review when we get to it, but I'm excited about that aspect. 4, you will have sustained effort and investment on each draft of all your papers. You will make substantive revisions when the assignment is to revise, extending or changing the thinking or the organization and not just editing or touching up. Sometimes a student will write a draft that is just almost nearly flawless and there's no need to have any deep revisions. And I will let you know if you're one of those students. And of course, copy edit all of your final revisions of main assignments. Make sure that the spelling is correct, the grammar is correct, the punctuation is correct, and I have resources and I will point you towards resources if you need those, so that you make sure that those papers conform to the conventions of edited revised English. Lastly, I don't know about this one. I'm not sure if we'll have time to do conferences with the teacher, but if you make an effort to work with somebody at the Writing Center or the Academic Learning, whatever it's called, Writing Commons, Learning Commons, depending on what campus you are affiliated with, if you go and you work with a tutor, please let me know. That will also come into account as far as the effort that you've made in the writing process. So you'll earn a grade of B entirely on the basis of what you do, how much effort you put in, and how much you participate. The grade of B doesn't derive from my judgment about the quality of your writing. As long as you have put forth a really concerted effort, you're going to get a B in this class. Grades higher than B, if you want an A, does rest on my judgment of writing quality. To earn higher grades, you need to produce writing that I judge to be exceptionally high quality, and you can refer to the departmental rubric that's lower down on the page here. We have this general grading rubric for A, B, C, and then NP. So that gives you a guideline of what we're looking for when we grade papers. I will give you a progress assessment midway through the semester before the last date for withdrawal, which is July 22nd, so that you're on top of things, you know how you're doing in the course, and if you need to withdraw, you can withdraw. So the proviso here is by staying in the course, you agree to all of these terms above, and I agree to keep track of all of these details responsibly and enforce them democratically. I will be fair. My goal is for my students to be successful in this class. So I'll do everything in my capacity to help you achieve those goals. The rest is up to you. You make a concerted effort, you meet the due dates, you do the work, you put forth a good effort, you're going to be successful in the course. So that said, I do have some policies regarding drafts. Since we only have 7 weeks together, I've removed a requirement to submit rough drafts. That is, sometimes it's just hard to get a draft in and then get the final revision in. Some people don't like to draft. I get it, but again, if you want to get that B, if you want to get that guaranteed B, you're going to submit drafts, and you're going to submit them early so that you can receive feedback. Each major writing assignment is set up so that you have unlimited submissions for the assignment. So if you want me to review your work in progress prior to the due date, you can submit as many drafts as you want. I'll take a look at them. I'll give you feedback. You can submit them on the final submission page, and then you'll be able to resubmit and resubmit. If for some reason that doesn't work, shoot me an email and I will figure things out. But it should be set up so that you can keep resubmitting until you're satisfied with your final revision. The weekly discussion boards are set up to facilitate posting the works in progress within your group and collaborate with and provide valuable feedback to your peer group members. Again, it's not required, but remember that the participation in peer workshops increases your chances of improving your grade. So every effort that you put forth in the writing process, all of that work that you do is going to help you achieve the grade that you desire. As far as late work is concerned, you're expected to meet due dates, right? This is especially true for a 7-week course. The pace can be overwhelming, and assignments are scaffolded in a way that's vital to complete one assignment before you beginning another. That said, I realize we're all human and that life sometimes happens, so I'm willing to work with you if you're having difficulty submitting your work on time. However, and I cannot stress this enough, it is your responsibility to reach out to me to ask for an extension. I don't need an excuse. I don't need to know the reason why. I only ask that you give me a heads up with a general idea of when I can expect your submission. You can ask for extensions on 2 of the major writing assignments. If you're chronically late with work, that is more than a day late, and you're not communicating with me, you're going to risk the loss of that guaranteed B. So it's vital that you stay in communication with me. I understand it can be challenging with the 7 weeks, especially if you've got a billion other things going on. I get it, but it's really important that we are on the same page and stay in communication so that we can work together to help you be successful. Understand that the assignments are scaffolded in such a way that they build one on another. So it's really important to stay on top of things, especially in a 7-week course. There is just no time to fall behind. So even though this is an asynchronous, class that doesn't have regular meetings, we do have a regular course schedule. We run from Monday to Sunday. A new module is released every Monday, and each major writing assignment is due on Sunday. There are midweek due dates for discussion boards, journals, and quizzes, and you'll be able to see that down at the bottom of the page in the course summary, as well as in the weekly modules when those midweek assignments are due. So please make sure that you look at Canvas for the most up-to-date assignments, readings, and due dates. So even though we have this schedule here, there may be times when I need to deviate from that because there are just some things that we need to work on together as a class. So always go by what is on Canvas in the weekly module and not by something that I wrote, about 2 months before the course even started. Okay, so that is pretty much it for the syllabus. There's the grading scale, again, the grading rubric. We have dates and deadlines. There is one holiday, excuse me, which is the July 4th holiday. That's Monday, but that will not affect me releasing the module it will be released that Monday. It's automatically set up to release on Monday, nor will it affect when work is due that week or the weekend before. I just don't have that kind of flexibility with a 7-week course. Actually, if you look at the dates, if we started on June 23rd and end on August 6th, it's actually 6.5 weeks, and you're doing 15 weeks worth of work. So it's a very condensed time period, and it can be very intense. And so I encourage you to stay motivated through the weeks that we will be spending together, and to stay in touch with me should anything come up and make things challenging for you. All right, thank you for sitting through the syllabus. Make sure that you read through it more in depth, and if you have any questions, you know how to get in touch with me. Take care. Bye-bye.